what does feminism mean to you personally?
So to me, I believe that I grew up maybe not so much in a generation, but definitely a household where it wasn't really mentioned that much. And I was a house of girls, so it wasn't any reason why. It just never really was focused on as much. I don't really remember it through like sort of adult life, even into now, that people have ever sort of made me think about it, which is probably quite bad on my part. It's not that, you know, I'm not against it or anything like that. I can't personally say I think about it much in my day-to-day life. However, there have been times, particularly in this workplace, a sort of like industry, not anyone that works here, but sometimes when we've had like passing companies through, I have definitely been treated differently. So obviously there's myself and my colleague who is male, Dan, and I do sometimes have that where we'll both go into the same room and they'll address us differently. So it'll be like a handshake, but not for me. Or they'll like just purely talk to him, won't even look at me, that kind of thing. But again, I mean, it depends. There in the moment, sort of, I will get annoyed about it, but I probably don't do enough or think about it enough afterwards. I know that there are some people that would sort of address it more and be like, why are you? But I just kind of think, oh, whatever, it's because I'm a woman, and that's kind of it. So I do believe that they should be equal to men, but like personally, I don't think that that is the case, or still in this day and age how people do actually feel like that. I think sometimes people will say things but they don't actually believe it. But yeah, I probably could do more, but I don't really. It's just one of them things I don't genuinely think about.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. So how do you define feeling beautiful?
It sounds quite sad to say it out loud, but me personally, I can't really truly say that I'd look in the mirror or like a picture of myself or something and naturally just think, oh, you look beautiful, or I feel beautiful. Like, I don't sort of walk around thinking, oh god, you know, but I feel it more if someone said it. So like if I put on like a nice outfit, or like even when I come in here sometimes someone goes, oh my god, you look lovely, then I would be like, and that would then make me feel it. So it's like, you know, I would get my confidence or boosts from other people rather than just sort of genuinely waking up and thinking, oh, you know, you look beautiful today, sort of thing. So like if I was going out, it sounds quite vain, but it's not, I don't personally think it is. It's more trying to boost myself. So I'd like put up a picture so that, you know, even if just me mum or someone commented on it saying, oh, you look nice, then I'd be like, okay, right, I look nice. It's like you need that reassurance sort of thing. Nice. And I do think that's an issue with social media, because when I was younger, you could just get dressed up and you think, oh, I look lovely. Whereas now I'm older, it's like, I need somebody else to tell me that I look nice before I'd actually sort of think it. That sounds so like, no, I get it. But do you know what I mean? I would never sort of be like, oh, you know, I wouldn't sit there and be like, oh god, you look horrible. But I would definitely feel beautiful once someone else had told me. So yeah, quite sad really, but I do think
it makes sense. So how would you describe your fashion style?
Unfortunately for me, I spend a lot of time in work clothes, because even if I'm working in the evening, in the day I just kind of wear something casual before work. So usually black trousers and a sort of smart top. When I'm not working, I like comfy sort of outfits. Like, I'm not really a jeans girl. Like, I can't wear I don't find them comfortable. So my style is very much working woman, because even when I'm not working, I'll probably still wear bloody black trousers on.
Fair enough. So do you follow any trends, or do you like prefer to create your own look?
I can't say I particularly follow a trend. I wouldn't even know, like if you said to me what's the latest fashion trend, I wouldn't know. I don't really read like fashion magazines. I see some things on TikTok and that, and like Instagram, but I don't really follow a trend. So if there's like a latest, you know, like I see sometimes people go on about like Molly May, and they're like, well, she's wearing the latest thing from Zara. I would not know what that is. I wouldn't have a clue. So I would definitely say that I follow like the weather trends as such, if you know what I mean. So as soon as it's a little bit sunny, summer wardrobe is out.
No, I'm the same.
And like winter, if it's a little bit of a draft, I'm like, oh, shall I get my cozy clothes back out? So I'm more on trend of what I think is comfortable, rather than what everyone's saying you should wear. Like, I've never seen something and been like, I'm going to go and buy that now, because I don't look for it anywhere.
Yeah.
So even like shop windows and that, I probably wouldn't. Whereas my sister will walk past a shop and be like, I need that dress. And then she'll be walking around like the mannequin. But I'm just more like, if I see something and I like it, I'll buy it kind of thing. So I've probably never been on trend in my life.
So I know you've got some tattoos. How do you feel that tattoos are perceived differently for like women and men?
See, to be fair, I said earlier about I don't see it much in my life, but actually, and now I'm contradicting myself. This is probably the only time where I would really not maybe get annoyed about it, but it definitely does happen. I do believe there is a vast difference with men and women. Like, I mean, my tattoos are Disney, but you still get people looking at them and looking at you differently. Like when I worked at the hospital, we used to have a lot of old people come in, and always I would hear it at least 6 or 7 times a day, where it would be like, oh, you'll regret them on your wedding day, or when you're older they'll look different. But I've got like male friends that have got neck tattoos, and no one's ever said anything about that ever. But I used to get it all the time, and it was always things like wedding day and things like that, which make me think that people think that you shouldn't have them because it makes you look like less classy or something like that. But like I said, I mean, they're Disney and they're not really, I'm not slagging off anyone because each their own, but like sometimes people have like coloured in like tattoos or like really heavy ones. I know people that have had them on their face. So I wouldn't say they're quite as harsh as that, but I know if I went to a job interview, depending on the place I interviewed, I would cover them up purely because I feel like I should. Not necessarily because I want to as such. So like here, like at the Cliffs, I didn't, because I thought it's a bit more of a, whereas when I had my job at the hospital, I wore long sleeves. So no one told me to, and I don't know if they would have had an issue with it, but I assumed in my head, because of the sort of stigma around it, that there would be. So I naturally did it. Same as like if I went to some big sort of corporate job in London or something, I'd probably cover them up, just because you just know. But I don't feel as a male that I would do the same thing. And I can't really put my finger on why. But I do think that there is a difference. Because people talk about them all the time. But like I said, I've got male friends that are both legs, both arms, coming up to here, or like if they're wearing, like, you can see them on their chest. Whereas to be fair, if I wore long sleeves, you wouldn't know at all. But no one ever says anything to them. But I've been out with girls that have got them, and someone will always make some sort of comment, oh, look at how many you've got, or something like that. So there is a difference, but I don't really know why. I don't personally think it makes any difference. I don't know if they're seen as more of a masculine thing, so girls should have like a little dainty flower or something like that. But it's definitely, especially, like, again, I'm not being rude, but especially with like the older generation. Oh, will you regret them? It's like, he's got them on his neck. He'll probably regret them more. So it's definitely that kind of thing. But in the hospital, I used to sit there just like, sometimes I would just wear, if I knew I was going to be like really front facing all day, then I would wear long sleeves, because I used to get sick of people saying it. And sometimes they'd have tattoos and they'd still be like, and I'm just like, you've got them as well. But and it a lot of the time it would be a man that would say it. And I'm just sort of like, how strange. But I think it's more the norm now. I think more women do have tattoos. But I remember when I first started to get, I mean, I've had these about 10 years now. When I did first start to get them, people were like, oh, you're having more? You're having another one? It's just like, but if you were a man, no one would even notice.
No, I wouldn't question it.
But I don't know why. So that's, again, probably why I've always just been like, meh, to it. Whereas, others would be like, well, no, I want to find out why. I want to make it maybe I'm just too lazy. I'm too carefree about some things.
Well, thank you very much.
That's okay. You're welcome. Thank you.